What is going on, everybody? Today we are going to do the final review of the Benchmade Shootout. If you've watched my unboxing, you'll notice that in the video I'm doing this with this CF Elite handle. I'm so really tired of Benchmade using plastic. I know it's not plastic, it's CF Elite, man. It's way better. Really, seriously, I understand that they couldn't get this texturing here near the front of the handle. They couldn't do that in aluminum, so that was their excuse for using the CF Elite or whatever. I could have done without it, honestly. It does offer some nice traction, but it's not a deal breaker for me. The action overall of this knife is very nice. It is very smooth, as you can see. There's no issue firing it. It fires very nicely, and the trigger itself, it very much, your finger gets right to it. Well, that's me, not the knife. You know, it really does. You have a real positive thumb grip on it when you're, and it does. It fires very nicely. So, you know, you can see right here, you know, that's very nice. It's got a very nice positive traction there. The rest of this means really nothing. There's no real good traction. So it's just this little bit down here that's kind of like a skateboard deck. Definitely gives you some traction. But as you can see, like when I'm deploying it, I don't even have any contact with that. So realistically, if they had done it through the whole knife, it might have been different. But overall, really think you really could have done without it. Overall, it's held up pretty good, but you can probably kind of see there's a little bit of black that kind of runs right along that ledge right there, and it actually wipes off. And what that is that's your CF Elite rubbing off on the blade, and it's really going to be really hard to tell, but the blade is slightly off-centered, but we'll get to that in a second. So let's just do a quick little comparison. Here's the Hogue, or the HK inclusion, mini inclusion, and here is your Microtech. So you can see how it compares very much so with the other knives. They are pretty much all very similarly sized. The HK is just a tad bit shorter. The inclusion's just a tad bit shorter, and obviously, you know, has its own little issues, but we'll get to that in another video. But yeah, so there's your quick little comparison. This thing doesn't weigh hardly anything at all, but we'll go ahead and show you what it weighs. So there you go, 2 3/4 ounces. All right, we got that out of the way. Yeah, very light. You won't even notice it's in your pocket. You probably more than likely think you lost your knife half the time, because that's pretty much exactly what I did. Because I prefer big knives, and I also prefer titanium. So I like metal. I can't stand this. This drives me absolutely insane. I don't have my other Benchmades handy, such as all the other plastic knives that they make. It's like, come on guys, can we seriously get rid of this? I understand it probably saves a lot of manufacturing and stuff, but yeah, it's kind of irritating. And as for the blade, it is slightly off center, and that's why it keeps leaving a little bit of black right there on the, and you're just not going to be able to pick it up on camera. But all the other ones are all centered, and again, we're probably not going to pick any of this up on camera, because you really have to, let's see, maybe let's try a flashlight here. Yeah, you can almost kind of see it in there, how it's kind of over to one side there. Again, this is probably not going to show up on camera, but anyway, it is. It's a little off center. I'm not sure if that was I'm not saying it was intentional. I don't know. I'm not sure if the blade is, when it's being drawn back in, if it's meant to slide over to the actual mechanical side. I'm not sure. Like I said, none of the others do it. You can kind of almost see the blade because it's literally just barely inside there, and you can kind of see it is centered, and this one just isn't centered. But anyway, it's not, it's not excessively bad. It just has a slight bit of rubbing, especially when I sit here and do actually inject it a lot. It will start to pick up that black because it will start kind of rubbing. And as you can probably tell, she's very close. It's probably not going to come on camera. It's a very close gap around it too, and that's probably a big part of it. Probably to try to maybe keep dirt and grime out of it. Problem is that when it's open like this, it's going to get all the dirt and grime in it anyway. Plus down here at the bottom, it's wide open down here, so it's still going to get dirt and grime in it even when you're using it. So either way, I think they could have maybe give a little bit extra play there, because obviously it seems like they definitely have some to work with there. I mean, some of these, like here in the Microtech, it's extremely thin on one side, and obviously not much to work with on the one side and all to work with on the other side. And same here pretty much with the Hogue. But in here, they're pretty much even on both sides. So they could have probably just worked it over a little bit so it wouldn't rub. But overall, if you can get beyond the plastic, that's me. If you can get beyond the CF Elite, CF Elite. I do like the glass breaker. It's very non-discreet, doesn't catch on anything. Very good to use. The pocket clip is pretty decent, even though it makes a nice plasticky sound on the plastic. I mean the CF Elite. But overall, blade is nice. It's sharp. It's still holding its edge. But it's CRU-WEAR, so the blade is a decent blade steel, and it is holding its overall edge. So that's nice. Overall, if you guys are looking for a light knife in an OTF, this is certainly the one. I don't think there's another OTF that's going to compare to it, especially in the weight aspect. Okay, so overall, I think it's a nice knife. Overall, it's very light. It'll make a great summertime knife if you're wearing basketball shorts, real light athletic shorts. A heavier knife might weigh down. It's certainly good for that, that's for sure. Overall, it's not a bad knife at all. I just would prefer metal. That's my opinion. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Would you rather have seen it in aluminum or titanium or something like that rather than CF Elite? But other than that, guys, have a great day. We'll catch you next time.